Welcome back to Blsd Stories, and today we start at the beginning with the first drop in a long series of drops. The first drop to drop them all, the single most important event in my life, maybe. My first drop of acid. So, before that, I do feel that it might be important to explain my experience before that drop. And before that, I did try all kinds of drugs like MD and cocaine and so on, but this was really my first real psychedelic experience. I feel like it's important to know. So it happened at a rave or a nature party, and I won't give you the name of it because it can do more harm than good, but I can tell you that I did go there with my BFF at the time and with a girl that I was sort of seeing, and the music in that party was techno. Now, I did not like techno, and I told my friends, listen, I'm not gonna go to this party and pay money for it and listen to music I don't like listening to. Um, so luckily for me, both of them did like the fire show in that party, so they got me a free ticket as an assistant. So I didn't need to pay, and I didn't have any excuse really. So we arrived at that party at some point at night. I realized that we're sort of in this forest, and the party itself is in a clearing in the forest. And other than that, I don't remember much about the night itself. I do remember the moment when we took the acid. There were three options. One was in a sugar cube. One was some kind of fruit on a peach or something, and the third one was sugar candy banana, just like this. And that's the one I picked. So my first drop wasn't even a drop. It was a sugar candy banana. And what happened, now that I'm trying to recollect the memories from this day, I'm like, I want to warn you that it might not be exactly in the same order, and but this is what I remember. So regarding the trip, I can say that I've learned two main things that I will never forget. One, the first thing that was very noticeable is the visuals. I have never experienced real intense visuals from drugs. All the other drugs I did are things that make you feel different, maybe enjoy things differently than you did, change some other things, but never so intense visuals. The colors were the brightest that I've ever seen. It felt like, the difference between watching TV 20 years ago and then watching TV in 4K. I remember seeing these patterns that continued moving all the time in the fields. I remember all the trees and the leaves on them were moving and synchronizing. The sky was amazing with the clouds. And also, a very, very powerful memory is that first sunrise. Uh, Before that one sunrise, I really didn't appreciate sunrises or sunsets or even sort of, you can say, nature. But when I saw that sunrise on acid, I kind of understood it. Understood why it's worth leaving something, stopping your life in order to watch the sunrise. And I also think that this is one of the most significant impacts of acid or psychedelics in general on my life without them. Because since that one first trip, I really appreciate sunrises and things in nature. Uh, Not only for its beauty, but also because when I look at a sunrise or at a certain thing, I can visualize how I will see it on acid, and that makes me appreciate it even more. Okay, so that's already one significant change that I took from it to my life after. The second thing that I've learned is that on the acid, I felt like there is no barriers between me and other humans. Okay, I never felt so open and positive and honest to other people. I remember there was this girl that was sitting in the middle of the field alone, and I just decided that I want to come up to her and asked if it's okay that I'll sit next to her, and she said fine. And then we started this amazing, beautiful conversation about what we're seeing and what we're feeling. I really had no interest, no agenda, no nothing when I came to her. I just felt like I want that connection, and I guessed that she would prefer sitting with me than alone, and she did eventually. The old me would never do something like that, or at least not without an interest. Uh, yeah, now something relevant that happened just like a couple of weeks ago is that I was at a birthday of a guy that I barely know, and I didn't know a lot of people, which is a situation that I'm not used to. And I was sort of sitting there, kind of bored, and sharing a joint with the people next to me. And right on the left of my side, there was this guy that I didn't know his name, nothing, and we shared a joint. And at some point, I asked him his name, to get to know each other. And he answered me that his name is Aslan. No, it's not his real name, but it was a very unique name. And the second I heard his name, I was like, dude, is there a chance that like this amount of years ago you've been in this specific party and that you've been on acid? And he said, yes, I did. How did you know? And I said, dude, I fucking remember you. And the interaction that I had with him in this party is that we were both standing in this field, and I was super excited and like and told him that I'm on acid for the first time of my life and I love it. And he told me that he's on 2 tabs of acid, and I was so impressed, and I was like, "Wow, dude, that sounds crazy. This one hit of acid is like totally insane for me. So I can't imagine even what is 2 hits of acid." And we had only this like 15-minute conversation, and since then I've never heard about him, I've never seen him, never met him, nothing, but I still remembered it. And when I told this to him, he remembered me. He even recalled what I was wearing, which is this T-shirt, which is already kind of small for me, but he even remembered that only from this 15-minute conversation. So really, maybe that's like the third thing that I've learned, which is that the connections that you make with people on acid or psychedelics are so much more powerful. Um, just a little conversation like that will like you'll remember it forever, maybe. Okay. Um, the friends and connections that you make on acid are super powerful. I think that most of my current friends are people that I met tripping or when they were tripping. Another great example for this from this party is a guy named Shai. Uh, I remember just like enjoying my time on the dance floor, and then Shai came up with this bottle and offered me to drink a juice that I've never drank, which is like this aloe vera juice with this little pieces in it. And I remember tasting it for the first time, and I was shocked. It felt like I'm drinking and eating at the same time, and right after I sip, I need to chew. It was amazing in my eyes, and I loved it. And I said it to him, and then like after he continued, I kept walking after him, following him, just to see the reaction of other people that try it. Because I was so excited, I really wanted to see if other people are that excited too. And after some time, he just turned to me and he said, "You know what? I think you should have it. I think you'll appreciate it more." And I'm like, "Dude, really? Whoa, that's too much." But he insisted, and and I took the bottle, and I remember after continuing like walking around with it, I decided that it's just too good for me. I already tasted it, so I know how awesome it is, and I'll just buy me one later and enjoy it myself. But here at the party, I should let as many people try it as possible, so that other people will know. Okay, so eventually I did not take any sip, nothing, and after 2 or 3 hours, I came back to Shai with an empty bottle, and I told him, "Listen, man, I did not take even one sip. I only used the bottle in order to let other people taste it, like to continue the gift that you gave me." And he told me, "Yeah, I saw what you did. Here's another bottle." And I remember, like, at that point there was some kind of like a glitch in the matrix in my brain, and I sort of understood another lesson, which is the power and joy of gifting. Yeah, it's very powerful, and it was a really good lesson to learn. Another funny story that happened in that trip was that at some point, me and my two friends decided to uh, go out of the party and into nature to like trip around and see what's going on. And it's also something that I really advise doing if you're already taking acid at a party or at any event. And it's very important to take at least one bottle of water with you, yeah, because we're responsible. And after some time walking, I remember seeing these two guys sitting in the middle of the field, and I had some good connection with them from the dance floor. So I came and like sat right next to them, and we started talking, and it was really nice. But at some point, I started feeling like I'm sinking. Okay, I started feeling like I'm going deeper and deeper into the ground. Uh, and at first, I thought I'm just imagining it, but slowly it got more weirder and weirder and even a bit scary. And eventually, I told him that, and we figured out what happened. What happened is that when I came like all happy and joyful to them and sat right next to them, I actually sat right on their water bottle. That one water bottle you need to take, I sat on it. It kind of blew underneath me without no one noticing, and all the like ground beneath me was muddy, and I was actually sinking into the ground. And they got me out of there. It was really funny. uh, yeah, and many years after this party, somebody posted a video of the party, and already just by seeing the post, I got really excited because that's like the only documentation that I've seen from this one big event of my life. And I watched it, and then I got even more surprised when I saw myself. Okay, I'm sort of like clapping there, and I'm gonna post it right after this video, so you can see it yourself, and you can try to find me and comment on which second you think you can see me. But yeah, it was a beautiful reminder. And yep, so that was in general my first trip ever. It was amazing. Hope you enjoyed hearing about it. And from here, things escalated pretty quickly. And join me in the next time where I'll tell you about the birth of the legendary Super Days.